Welcome back, you guys. So this is part 2 of the servo motor controller box that I designed in Blender and had 3D printed on my longer LK5 Pro. And that top lid is white ABS plastic, and the bottom part of this box is actually like brown looking PLA. And I got M3 screws all on the edges to hold down the lid to the box, and I got 5 servo motors. These are metal geared servos, so that's 1 over here on the far right, 2 right next to it on the left, 3 on the further left, 4, and then 5 all the way on the end of the left. And it is connected. I actually drilled with my drill and tap bit. I can show you that. Let me just show you really quick. So this right here is an M3 drill bit with a tap on it to make the grooves for the M3 bolts to be into it like a nut. So right here I have my 16 channel servo motor controller. I drilled 4 holes into my box here just to make sure that it was mounted properly on the far right here, and the motor wires come out the back of these holes down here. So all 5 wires, or all 5 motor wires, come out the back, and they're long enough to go over to the far right over here. So I got one. This is ID1 on the far right, ID2 right next to it on the further left, and then ID3 right here on the furthest part before the gap on the far left, and then after the gap that is ID4, and then ID5 is right after that black wire right there. So all those wires are connected to all 5 servos, and I also drilled another M3 screw hole for my step up to step down multi power adapter. Basically, this is the voltage adjuster that I've been using. So I got a 12 volt, you can see right here, AC to DC 2 amp power adapter, and it goes into this cord right here. This is the male version, so let me just move it. Here we go, right here. So that's the male. And then over here, the input I have on my power adjuster here from 12 volts down to 7 volts, and it is a female. So let me just get that wire here. Okay. So the input comes over here, and then the out is on the end, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, so the input is right here. It's still a little loose, but it'll stay sort of in place. I may need to put a different bolt in there or tighten it down with like a nut, but either way it's on there, so that way I won't lose it. But so now I'm going to plug this in. So I'm trying to do this with one hand. This is a lot more difficult than it looks. Okay. Alright, so now we got the male to female on the power adjuster here. So this is 12 volts going in, and then 7 volts coming out, and that goes into this male to female over to this power input for the 16 channel servo motor controller. So now that that's plugged in, I can show you that the power supply right in fact is on. You can see that blue LED light, so that means it's plugged in, it has power. So it is showing 12 volts, and that will go into this power adjuster, and then it brings it down to 7 volts. So all I gotta do to turn everything on is just flip this switch right here on by pressing it downward or over to the right. So once I do that, you'll see that the LEDs right here, LED 1 and 2, is gonna light up blue and red. 1, 2, there it goes. And you may have heard that, but it's hard to hear. So I'm going to just shut it off, and then I'm going to turn it back on so I can let you guys see. The servo motors will move a little bit. They're not moving completely because I don't have it plugged into my computer yet. But you can see that it'll be able to be plugged into that USB type B port. And then I can adjust and move the motors however I want. Or how long I want, basically. Anyway, so now that we have that, I'm gonna just show you me flipping the switch to turn on the servo motors, and all those servos are gonna move a little bit, so just watch that white horn right here. So 1, 2, 3, see, it jerked a little bit because it has power. And I'll shut it off, and I'll do it one more time so I can make sure you guys can see that all really good. And I'll go up a little bit so you guys can kind of see everything. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. See, they all moved a little bit. So with that being said, with them having power and everything properly running, all I gotta do is plug this in to my computer to the USB type B port, and then I'll be able to move these servo motors without hopefully any issues. I'm hoping that when I'm moving them around, that these horns that I have on the servos won't smack against each other. They are really close, so I'm not sure exactly yet, but I'm going to be testing everything out. So if you want to see the servos moving with that program, the LO bot that I was showing you on the previous video, this will be able to hopefully work without any issues now that I have the servo motor controller mounted to the side of the box and my power supply mounted to the front of the box as well. So now I shouldn't have any issues and everything should move just fine. So if you want to see part 3, I believe, because this should be part 2 because it's just about the box. So in part 3, I will show you the motors moving and me using it on that LO bot program that I had gotten from the seller of the 16 channel servo motor controller. And I do have some other servos, like I got 2 of these other Metal Gear servos, and I do have like 6 of these small Metal Gear servos. So I'm gonna have to probably 3D print some horns for the small ones, and may even buy me some, because I do want to use smaller ones if I'm making a robot, because I want the robot not to be too big. So we'll see what happens in the future, but for right now, this is what I'm working with. Hope you guys liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.